Hi, is this the airline? Yes. Yes, I would like to book one business class flight for free. What? You don't sell those. What do you mean? No, I saw this video on TikTok and I could call you to book free business class. Hello? 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 Huh. Hey guys, and welcome back to another segment of What Card Wednesday. In today's video, I'm going to be your guide as I walk through a live demonstration of how exactly you can use one credit card to book an $8,000 business class ticket for free. I myself have been in the credit card game for the better part of the past 6 years. Over the past 6 years, I've accumulated well over 4 million credit card points in airline miles. I've used 1 million of those points and miles to stay at luxurious 5-star resorts all over the world, as well as use those miles and points to fly in business class and first class cabins for free. So if you're interested to figure out how you can go from sitting on the other side of that screen to sitting at 30,000 feet in the air, sipping on champagne, knocking back caviar, tucked all nice and cozy into your lie flat pod, this is the video for you. Please be sure to stick around to the end of this video, as I will be showing you how to elevate your experience from not just an $8,000 ticket, but to a $14,000 ticket. If that sounds like a plan, if you wouldn't mind, please feel free to tap that thumb icon to spread the good word, and we will dive right in. As this is meant to be a comprehensive guide, I'm going back to the basics. I want to explain for you the differences between credit card points and airline miles, and it's going to be very simple. Credit card points, such as points that you would earn from Chase Bank, American Express, or Citibank, are generally very flexible, meaning you can transfer them to different partners, but sometimes their value isn't as high as they could potentially be. Whereas, contrast them to airline miles that you're going to typically earn from a co-branded credit card or directly with an airline, they are less flexible, meaning you cannot transfer airline miles to different partners, but sometimes they tend to hold more value because they are redeemed through an award chart, and in some of these award charts, there are sweet spots. So in the world of travel hacking, the best case scenario is getting many credit card points and then transferring them to be converted into airline miles to take advantage of those award charts. The card we are talking about today is the Bank of America Alaska Airlines card. And the flight that we are going to book is a Cathay Pacific business class flight. You see, Alaska Airlines is a partner of Cathay Pacific and vice versa. And on Alaska Airlines, you can use their miles to book on flights with any of their partners. I plan to show you exactly why Alaska Airlines miles are worth more than Cathay Pacific, even though you will be flying a Cathay Pacific flight. Allow me first to describe the credit card for you. The Bank of America Alaska Airlines credit card is actually one of my all-time favorite credit cards. This is exactly how I flew my first class ticket, link above to the video. The sign-up bonus of the credit card today comes in at 50,000 Alaska Airlines miles after spending $2,000 within the first 90 days. You will also be qualified to receive a companion pass when you spend the minimum requirement. A companion pass, think of it as a buy one, get one type of deal. The difference is, with the companion pass, you will be required to pay taxes and fees as well as a base fare. So it all adds up to $121. Of course, if the flight is worth less than $121, there's no use to the card. If your flight is worth more than $121 and you want to bring a companion, then you are well in the green. The Bank of America Alaska Airlines credit card will earn 3 miles per dollar spent on qualifying purchases on Alaska Airlines. You will earn 1 mile per dollar spent on all other purchases. Benefits of this card include a free check bag for you and up to 6 companions. You will also be granted a 20% discount on all purchases made aboard Alaska Airlines. You will also be granted a 50% discount if you were to use the card to buy a Alaska Airlines Lounge Day Pass. Now, where all the magic happens though is on how you can use those points, so let's go ahead and dive right into that live demonstration. Okay, so in this guide, I'm giving you my secret sauce. This is exactly how I booked a premium first class cabin using Alaska Airlines. Let's go ahead and take a look. So right here, let's go ahead and run through that offer, right? You're gonna get 50,000 points as a sign-up bonus Alaska Airlines credit card. So once you get this card, this is where I want you to go. first go to a website called Award Hacker. This is a great site that aggregates a ton of award travel, basically telling you where you're flying to and what kind of points you're going to need. So in this theoretical, we're going to fly from New York to HKG, which is Hong Kong. Let's say one way, and it's amazing. Look at this. It basically gives you the type of points you're going to require. Now, I'm only showing you this because this is a tool I think is super helpful. I already know it's only going to cost me 50,000 Alaska miles, but if I didn't, I'd go here and see this. And what's also really good about Award Hacker is that it actually shows you where you could transfer points from. So MR is American Express Membership Reward, Chase Ultimate Rewards, Citi Thank You, as well as Marriott Bonvoy. I actually don't know what C1 is. If anyone knows C1. But I wouldn't recommend transferring from Marriott Bonvoy. You're not gonna get a whole lot of value from it. I would simply look at this. It costs 50,000 points in Alaska Airlines one way. And what's amazing about Award Hacker, it actually tells you kind of step by step what you need to do, which is pretty sweet. This is why you don't want to transfer Marriott Bonvoy. 3 Marriott Bonvoy to 1.25 Alaska Airlines miles. But I do want to also hammer home the point right now. Remember earlier I had discussed that some airlines have better award charts than others. And you might be wondering, exactly, why wouldn't you just be booking on Cathay Pacific? Let me show you. So there's another site. It's the exact same thing as Award Hacker. This one is just called Travel Codex's Award Maximizer, but it's easier to show you what I'm talking about. So earlier we had discussed that it only costs 50,000 points on Alaska Airlines to fly Cathay Pacific, right? So you use Alaska Airlines miles and it will cost you 50,000 to go in business. But what if you did the same flight with Cathay Pacific miles? Well, down here is Cathay Pacific. To fly on Cathay Pacific's own airline, you would need 85,000 Cathay Pacific miles, which, right, it doesn't really quite add up. Like, what is that supposed to mean? And then up here, another one that used to be pretty good is still decent, but not as good as it used to be, American Airlines at 70,000. So this is what I mean by that. When you want to look for sweet spots, like the fact that you have to just use 50,000 miles to then fly Cathay Pacific with Alaska Airlines miles, that's pretty crazy. To further drive home the point, this is Alaska Airlines' own chart. So let's go ahead and pop in here. We are going to be flying from, where is it? Continental US over to, I believe it's Asia broadly is how they define it. And it's going to tell you, okay, if you want to fly in Cathay Pacific, that's going to only cost you 50,000 miles. So this is just to validate that what this is telling you is correct and what this is telling you is correct. But yeah, these two sites, Award Hacker and the Award Maximizer, Travel Codex, are amazing. Highly recommend it. So back to my point earlier though, it takes a little bit of work. You're not just gonna take your Alaska Airlines miles and book directly on Alaska Airlines. I know, it'd be too easy. You have to first find availability, and you have some options to do that. You can either just call around, basically call Alaska Airlines and ask them if they have availability, or what I would recommend is actually looking for availability on one of Cathay Pacific's partners. So Cathay Pacific is in the One World program. And in the One World program, there are a ton of different airlines, and some airlines can actually see the award available charts / available seats on their other partners. So what I mean by that is, use a British Airways account to search for Cathay Pacific availability. So here, basically what we're just going to do is take a look at, hey, what flights can get me from New York to Hong Kong, and pick some date in the future. I mean, obviously your travel date, but when it comes to award bookings, the further out that you can book it, the higher of a chance you're going to get it. So let's just say August. And then we want to go in business. And I want to make sure that this is actually, oh, you know what? See, this is why. This is not an award booking. We want to go to book a flight with Avios. So British Airways, book a flight with Avios. Ah, there we go. The screen looks much different. A little bit dated if you ask me. So New York to Hong Kong, let's say next August, we want to do it in business class and hit search. Now, if you don't already have a British Airways account, just open one. It's completely free. You're only using British Airways as a tool in order to find Cathay Pacific award availability. Here it's asking me if you want to make a stopover. No, no stopover. Although Cathay Pacific does allow stopovers, basically where you can break up your trip into a segment, get out of the airport for a day or two, and then continue onward. Pretty cool, but we're not doing it on this trip. Cool, so now British Airways has now loaded. So from New York to Hong Kong, we see some really, wow, this is actually really good flight availability. Huh, I might just book. Sorry, we're not looking at first class, we're looking at business class. So business class, it tells you, okay, we've got 2 business class seats available on this flight, 2 business, and you want to basically note these down, right? These 2 at least. And keep in mind, because technically this is British Airways showing you Cathay Pacific's availability, it might not be directly reflected. So when you call and they don't see it, that might pop up. But be persistent, it typically usually does work out. So it's showing you, wow, if you want to leave at 10 a.m. on this day, there are 4 business class seats available, which I've never seen before. So basically now you go ahead and give them a call. So with Japan Airlines, it shows really good availability, meaning typically Cathay Pacific will release their award chart about, I want to say almost 11 months in advance. Japan Airlines starts showing you that availability closer to that date, as opposed to British Airways, I think only searches like 9 or 10 months in advance. So you might not be getting the most, I guess, availability because, well, it's already been out on the market for a month or 2. Japan Airlines will show you that availability. So if you don't already have an account, open a Japan Airlines account, click log in, click JMB Partner Airline Award Chart up here, again, a one-way ticket, and yeah, I was having some issues here. So here you would select Cathay Pacific, punch in the dates, and hit search. Unfortunately, it's got some weird issue right now that I can't seem to figure out, but Japan Airlines is my second go-to. Well, actually, no, sorry. Japan Airlines is my first go-to when it comes to actually finding award availability, just because it looks much further out. I use British Airways as a demonstration because Japan Airlines, unfortunately, isn't loading right now. And if we want to figure out, hey, how much does that retail ticket cost? Let's go ahead and now I'm on Cathay Pacific's website just to say for funds, how much is that ticket going to cost me? So we were flying out sometime in August of next year. I think it was maybe the 10th. We could do round trip. Just to say, hey, you don't want to check on Cathay Pacific for their award availability is actually due to the fact that Cathay Pacific has more award seats available for their own member partners. Meaning, if you have a Cathay Pacific account, you can book with Cathay Miles, but you might not be able to use Alaska Miles for those flights. It gets really wonky, but that's all to say, you don't have to check on Cathay Pacific for award charts because it's skewed. So, well, would you look at that? That exact flight we were looking at earlier is $8,500, or you could splurge up to $10,000 for more flexibility. That is absolutely insane. We're obviously not going to pay that. We're going to pay much closer to about $57. Now, because you so graciously stuck around to the end of this video, here's my bonus tip for you. Anyone, and I mean anyone, can open a business credit card. If you have some sort of side hustle, selling on eBay, selling on Etsy, flipping items on Craigslist, you are a business. If you want to be a business, go find something and sell it on Facebook Marketplace, you're a business. And as soon as you're a business, you're qualified to open a business credit card. And the reason that's important, bam, the Alaska Airlines business credit card is offering a sign-up bonus of 60,000 miles. Remember, 50,000 miles gets you business class seat one way. With 60,000 additional miles, you can do business both ways. Or you can combine your 50,000 miles and your 60,000 miles here for 110,000 miles total, and you would only need 70,000 miles to fly in Cathay Pacific's ultra premium luxury first class suites, which honestly, some of the best in the world, in my honest opinion. Link above to one of the flight reviews I did. It was such a phenomenal experience. So this is the bonus tip for you. Go ahead, if you have a business or if you have some sort of side hustle, get the Bank of America, Alaska Airlines personal card, as well as the Bank of So if you have some sort of side hustle, go ahead and get the Bank of America, Alaska Airlines personal card, as well as the Bank of America, Alaska Airlines business card. You have to spend $3,000 within the first 90 days, but look at this sign-up bonus, 60,000 bonus points. You get all the exact same perks, annual companion fare, free checked bag, earnings no cap, but this is the true value here, getting those points. Oh, and one more thing, I can't believe I forgot. The Alaska Airlines card comes with a $75 annual fee, which to me, I think is 100% worth it, just for the bonus points alone. If you don't get a lot of value out of this card after year one, don't worry about it, just go ahead and cancel it. All right, well, I hope this was helpful to some degree. I know a ton of people talk about points. I hope this gives you a really clear map, or at least a clear picture of exactly what to do with the points. My name is John. This has been One Card Wednesday, and I will catch you next Wednesday. Peace!